Have a 14 Skoda Octavia. It's actually over 90 degrees, but I've just pulled in there to stop and show I've the heaters on full blast, so I've high, just to check manually what the temperature's like inside. It's cold inside. The minute I took off, Jenny Mac, sorry. The minute I actually, this is a driving, the temperature went up weirdly. The minute I slowed down, it went down. I'm going to show you a snapshot in a second. It's a bit too bumpy there now of where the temperature goes. It's getting hot and cold outside. Even though it's cold outside, while moving, this is what's happening. It's gone into the red. Heaters are, as I said, they're still cold. Whoop. When I feel them, there's a little bit of warmth starting to come inside them, but not at all hot enough. The minute I stop, if you watch, it's actually starting to cool down again. So we'll chase after this and just see. A bit of heat maybe coming from this one here now, but nothing at all coming from that one. And you can see her starting to cool down. We'll check it out and see what's going on. Okay guys, after a bit of digging in, what is wrong is we have a thermostat stuck closed, sticking closed, just to show on the 1.6 diesel Skoda Octavia. It's a very common Volkswagen engine. Thermostat lives in underneath this EGR cooler here, intake manifold cooler. No, it's not. It's actually an intake manifold cooler, not an EGR cooler. But the pipe sits in there where the thermostat is, okay? What I done was I pulled off this the air intake pipe out of the way, took out the air box, which sat here first. Now, the top water hose, that is where the thermostat housing sits. Inside that joins onto this. I'm just going to show you. There's 2 or 3 different types of these that can be gotten, okay? 2 options we've gotten was, one was this big, robust kind of one. Second one was this little rocket type yoke. But what I'm doing is, I just took it apart to show, and it's quite easy. The way it disassembles. There's a little lock and tab. If you're looking into the engine, it's just on the very, you can't really see it. It's just on the very top of the housing, which you can get at it quite easy. But I actually disassembled this one in order to show. Little lock and tab. This thing pulls back. A little tab, which has a little ear sitting in there. That little tab pulls back. Okay? Once that tab pulls back, I should have had something for holding the camera, but I don't have anything for holding the camera, so I'll do it maybe sit you down somewhere there. It's not very exciting, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. Up they come again. Right, so that the main top water hose comes out of here and over to the top of the radiator. But once that tab is out of it, this thing just twists. Okay. Oop. Just to show you. And then inside it is our thermostat. Okay? Just to show. So if you're going buying, you don't need this crack. It's about freaking, looks like it's going to be 2 or 3 hours to change that. Sorry about the phone, I'm going to answer there now. But that's where I'm going to advise you to go. Small, easy one, not big awkward one. Sorry, I had to answer the phone there, guys. I've just reassembled it again. So I just put it together, twisted it in. As I said, I'm not going to be replacing this large housing. I'm going to be replacing this. One thing I am going to point out, and I have it swapped over there at this point in time. There is a little steel washer type thing. Make sure you don't lose this. That part is this part, and it sits inside in here. Make sure that that little washer type yoke, like a button nearly, it sits on top of the thermostat, so that doesn't pierce a hole on the inside of the yoke. Okay? Just don't forget that as well. So that's the reason, eh? She's boiling over. Maybe I'll give you a video. continue on again in a second maybe and show you it running again. Forget about your seal. That seal sits around that as well. Just don't forget it. I'm going to put a little tip of sealer on it just because I cleaned it up. There's a good bit of rust on it and there's 1 or 2 little indentations on it around the place, but I'm going to do that just a crack.